Sure.
Welcome, comrades. I'm Red McCano, Senior Executive Vice Senior President of Shadaloo's Department of Treasury.
And I'm Melody Sinclair. You're listening to How Much in Bison Dollars on FGC Radio. We've got a stacked docket to get through, Red. Why don't you get us started?
50 Cent has been officially cast to play Balrog in the upcoming Street Fighter movie, or as he's known in Shadaloo, 7 Bison.
I don't believe that 50 Cent's name is really localized in Shadaloo, right? I don't think they call him 68 Cent in Canada.
I'm pretty sure they call him 78 yen in Japan.
No.
Yeah.
Red, are you trying to tell me that when 50 Cent goes to Mexico, they call him 24 centavos?
Mel, I'm trying to tell you that when 50 Cent does a European tour, the signs advertising his concerts say 43 cent.
4 fen?
39 kopecks.
37 pence.
270 gersh.
You know Libyan dinar off the top of your head.
How did you know it was Libyan dinar?
Famed rapper 50 Cent has joined the likes of Jason Momoa, Andrew Koji, and Kalina Liang on the Street Fighter movie. The film is 2 years into production and is slated for a 2026 release.
Balrog was reportedly elated to have found out that 50 Cent would portray him on the silver screen. They still call it the silver screen, right?
You're probably aging yourself, but yes, they do still call it that. The casting, however, did not come without controversy. Just a few days later, 50 Cent commented on the results of the New York City mayoral election. He offered the newly elected Zohran Madami $258,750.
Which is $38,295 in Bison dollars.
To leave New York City.
Mr. Cent is not a fan of Mayor Mamdani's plan to tax the wealthiest 1% of NYC, the kind of people making over $1 million every year. Now, all that aside, but taking all of this into consideration, great casting. I can't tell if 50 Cent is trying the method acting approach to prepare for the role, or if this is just, like, how he is. But based on all of this, he's probably going to do a great job.
You think so?
Balrog is explicitly banned from the entire Shadaloo Department of Treasury building. This whole spat with the New York City mayor, big Balrog energy.
What's the vibe on the casting of M. Bison?
Lord Bison has not made any public statement on it, not that we're expecting one. He's portrayed enough in media that it'd be silly to comment on every single one of them. But I'm, of course, hoping for a great performance and portrayal by David Dalsmalchian.
We're just getting started here on FGC Radio, so stick around. There's still this week's global exchange rates.
I'm going to bring up tariffs again because everything is awful. Rosalie Howell will be joining us again for another round of travel advisories because everything is awful.
And esports with Samson Escapades for the results of Subject to Change 2025.
Because everything is awful?
Sure, Red. That's all coming up after the break. Please enjoy Kathy's theme from Osaka 120% Limited Burning Festival.
Welcome back, comrades. You're listening to FGC Radio. That was Kathy's theme from OSCO 120% Limited Burning Festival. Should I just,
Get right into this week's exchange rates?
Yeah, that.
The floor is yours, Red.
Alrighty. Kicking things off, Great Britain, pound sterling, 0.199 into Bison dollars. The current exchange rate of the Australian dollar into Bison dollars, 0.097. United States of America, USD, 0.148. The Japanese yen, 0.001. The euro, 0.172. The Bosnian convertible mark, 0.088. The Kenyan shilling, 0.001. The Swiss franc, 0.185. The Mexican peso, 0.008. And the Thai baht, 0.005. And I want to stress that 0.148 is considered a high for the American dollar. I've seen, money media and economists praising the American dollar for the last couple of weeks for its strength, especially compared to the yen or the Swiss franc. I just need you to understand that even just under 6-7 months ago, your dollar was worth more. Mel, do you remember the exchange rate in, let's say the middle of January?
I don't recall the exact figure, Red, but if I had to guess, I'd say probably 0.16.
Yeah, basically, actually. The exchange rate of USD to Bison dollars peaked at 0.166 in the middle of January. That's almost 20 points higher than what it is now. And finance journalists are trying to sell you the current state of your economy as something to be proud of.
That does seemingly fall in line with the playbook of this administration. Create a problem, put out the fire later, celebrate saving what's left.
It isn't so much that the American dollar is doing well. It's more like it's doing less worse than everything else around it. The tariff war with Canada dropped the value of the Canadian dollar. Yen hasn't been doing so hot in recent months. Pound sterling is suffering a 6-week low after a report came out that not only confirmed a weakened market, but also a stagnating wage growth.
And all this is from tariffs?
I mean, when you're talking about something as large as the global economy, it's never just one thing, but it is a thing. Tariff talk has been hitting Shadaloo's side of the world, Southeast Asia, and we're not particularly happy about it. We're seeing a lot of negotiations and concessions being made in Southeast Asia. Unfortunately, some of our neighbors lack the means or the spine to stand up to the weight America is trying to throw around. Cambodia and Thailand are facing 30% tariffs. Laos, Myanmar, and Shadaloo 40%. Our government has already responded with threats of a full-blown embargo against America. It was fun being petty when all this started last winter, but now approaching the end of summer and this is still going on, the Shadaloo government has lost patience with this administration. We are two countries that do not need each other, but America will suffer a greater loss if this economic relationship were to dissolve. This is the current stance of my government. The problem is, we don't just exist in a vacuum. Everything going on here affects everyone. Tariffs in Cambodia will inevitably affect Shadaloo. Tariffs in Thailand will inevitably affect Shadaloo, etc., etc. America is destabilizing the world economy, whether they want to own up to that or not. And frankly, I feel like they're not facing enough pushback or consequences for it. I'm done talking about this.
That's okay, Red. How about we take some questions, requests, and dedications from our audience? You can keep in touch by calling in to FGC Radio or on social media at HMI Bison Dollars and use the hashtag BisonDollarsQRD. Caller, you're on FGC Radio. What's your name and where are you from?
Hey, Melody. Hey, Red. I'm Spyder from Sundo.
Greetings, Spyder. What can we do for you?
You were talking earlier about 8 Platinum being cast as Balrog.
See?
Uh-huh.
I got to see him perform a couple of years ago on his last Outworld tour. Great concert. I just wanted to know what your favorite 8 Platinum song is.
I'm gonna say either PIMP or Candy Shop. Earworms, the both of them.
I'm afraid I'm not entirely familiar with the deeper discography of one Curtis Jackson, so my answer is going to be as surface level as it gets, Indie Club.
And one more caller, you're on FGC Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Teefy Beefwonder. I'm calling in from Philly.
Philly? That's Philadelphia?
Yeah, it's Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's what I said. Philly.
What's up, Teefy? What can we do for you today on How Much in Bison Dollars?
I was hoping to put in a song request.
Absolutely. What are we playing?
Bury Home from Street Fighter EX3.
That's Bury Home from Street Fighter EX3. There's still plenty of How Much in Bison Dollars when we return. Stick around.
Welcome back, comrades. That was Bury Home from Street Fighter EX3. You're listening to How Much in Bison Dollars on FGC Radio.
We turn now to Rosalie Howell of the Shadaloo Ministry of Travel and Tourism for some travel advisories. Rosalie.
Oh, thank you for the warm welcome, Melody. Hello to my neighbors across the globe.
Suck it, Flat Earthers.
Tensions between Shadaloo and the United States continue to escalate regarding travel. In one worrying incident, a Shadaloo tourist was turned away at the border because their phone gallery contained memes of the American president, the vice president, and Paul Phoenix.
I mean, have you seen the man's hair?
With chagrin and dismay, I have. The U.S. Embassy in Shadaloo recently updated its website with a new policy regarding non-immigrant visas. It reads as follows. Effective immediately, all individuals applying for an F, M, or J non-immigrant visa are requested to adjust their privacy settings on all of their social media accounts to public to facilitate vetting necessary to establish their identity and admissibility to the United States under U.S. law. Here we go. Pursuant to the presidential proclamation on restricting the entry of foreign nationals to protect the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats, which takes effect at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 9th, 2025, the United States is suspending or limiting entry and visa issuance to nationals of certain countries. Applicants who are subject to this presidential proclamation may still submit visa applications and attend scheduled interviews, but they may be ineligible for visa issuance or admission to the United States.
We saw an almost identical policy change for the UK back in June and Latvia in July.
Well, Melody, this restriction is becoming more commonplace. Once we heard about it for the UK, we figured it was only a matter of time before we had the same here in Shadaloo.
Is it right to assume that the Ministry of Travel and Tourism sees this policy change for what it is, that this has less to do with the prevention of terrorist activity and more to do with policing criticism against the current American administration?
Why, yes, Red. Our representatives have argued that self-same point. Given the current political climate, the unprecedented funding of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the construction of so-called detention centers, America has been upgraded to a Level 3 travel advisory. I would urge you to please carefully reconsider travel. I'm Rosalie Howell, extending a warm welcome and sincere invitation to anyone who would like to join us here in beautiful Shadaloo. We have all the really nice stuff here.
We really do. Thank you, Rosalie.
When we return from break, Samson Escapades with the results of Subject to Change 2025. For now, though, here's Taco's Dance from King of Fighters 2002.
Welcome back, comrades. That was Taco's Dance from King of Fighters 2002.
Subject to Change took place just last weekend at the Go 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 Cafe in Shadaloo City. It's the last stop on the Destiny is Destiny tournament season before This is Destiny in October. Samson Escapades has all the details on what went down. Samson.
Subject to Change drew the largest crowd of the year so far, with 69 entries.
Nice.
Top players jockeyed for favorable seeding in the final event of the season and got in as much match experience as possible against potential opponents. In contrast, many new players attended just to secure a spot on the board for a chance to skip any round 1 bracket matches. The big story coming out of Subject to Change was Big Woe's run through the bracket. Woe looked poised to place strongly at this year's This Is Destiny after a decent 2024 season, but was unceremoniously dumped out in Losers Round 3. His 2025 before last weekend was 2 first-round eliminations. He's a player most people just kind of forgot about.
Well, I think they'll remember his name now.
Indeed, he had to best both Ultra Violins and Kill It Will just to make it into top 8. Joining him were Max Adam, Disinfectant Man, Jimmins, HMI Latvarian Franks, Chicken Katsu Fury, JCT 9090, and Shadaloo Woo.
No other real surprises. Everyone present, at least a top 20 ranked player or so, other than Chicken Katsu Fury.
Subject to Change was their 2025 season debut, but Katsu finished in the top 20 last year. Unfortunately, they didn't make it any further than top 8. HMI Latvarian Franks ejected Katsu from the tournament. In another Fei Long vs Sable Nyx encounter, JCT 9090 eliminated Shadaloo Woo. On the other side of the bracket, Max Adam over Disinfectant Man in straight sets. Big Woe eliminated the final Sable Nyx main in the tournament, Jimmins.
Top 8 was not kind to Sable Nyx mains.
The Long v Nyx matchup favors Fei Long at higher levels. Unfortunately, the Flying Jenny v Long match does not swing the same way. Max Adam ended Big Woe's run in the semifinals, perfect practice for grand finals because the JCT 9090 and HMI Latvarian Franks match was a Fei Long mirror match.
3 Fei Longs in semifinals.
JCT took the win, and then again, overcoming Max Adams' Flyin' Jenny. JCT 9090 won Subject to Change, and took the final guaranteed seeding spot for This Is Destiny. Your top 4 seeded competitors, regardless of season rank, will be Max Adam, Didmark, Goose, and JCT 9090. This Is Destiny is Saturday, October 18th at the Shadaloo City Esports Arena. I'm Samson Escapades, Shadaloo City Shadaloo. Back to you, Melody and Red.
Back to me. Back to music, more like.
Yes, we've got another music break coming up, so stick around. There's still a little more How Much in Bison dollars to come. You're listening to FGC Radio. Here's Training Room from Tao Feng, Fist of the Lotus. Welcome back, listeners. You're listening to How Much in Bison Dollars on FGC Radio. That was Training Room from Tao Fang Fist of the Lotus. If you're just joining us, well, we're actually about to say goodbye. Red, is there anything coming up next?
Just, no. No, I mean, other than some great music from the very best that fighting games have to offer.
Good boy. For How Much in Bison Dollars and FGC Radio, I'm Melody Sinclair.
I'm Red McCano, Senior Executive Vice Senior President of Shadaloo's Department of Treasury. Gloria ad Pax Bisonica. Enjoy your day. How Much in Bison Dollars on FGC Radio is a How Much in Bison Dollars production brought to you by FGC Radio. You can follow FGC Radio on Blue Sky at FGC Radio. How Much in Bison Dollars on FGC Radio features music by Terrible Brosif. You can follow Brosif on both Twitter and TikTok at Terrible Brosif. The role of Red McCano was portrayed by me, How Much in Bison Dollars. You can find me on most social media sites at HMI Bison Dollars, or beat Mission 20 in Time Attack, and then select Kyo while holding the Start button. Melody Sinclair was portrayed by Solstice Hannan. Solstice can be found on most relevant and some irrelevant social media sites at Darker Solstice. Spyder was portrayed by Brian Corbin. Teefy Beefwonder was portrayed by Melly Fiore. You can follow Melly on Blue Sky at Melly in Chains, or watch her on Twitch at twitch.tv/grunkzone. She's always working on something, so make sure you check back often. Samson Escapades was portrayed by Professor Tom of the Shujin Academy VGM Club podcast. You can follow the professor on Blue Sky at Shujin Academy and on Instagram at Shujin Academy VGM Club. You can listen to the Shujin Academy VGM Club podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Rosalie Howell was portrayed by Shu Skogen. They can be found on YouTube, Blue Sky, and Red Note at Shoe Pixie. Special thanks to FGC Radio for broadcasting this show, and thank you, comrades, for listening to it. How Much in Bison Dollars airs the first and third Tuesday of every month. Reruns of broadcasts can be found on platforms like YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever else you might enjoy listening to podcasts. If you've got the Bison Dollars to spare and would like to support the show monetarily, t-shirts and stickers are available on Redbubble at hmibisondollars.redbubble.com. How Much in Bison Dollars is also on Patreon with paid membership starting at only $2 USD. Membership grants you access to our entire archive of previously broadcasted content. That's over 100 solo broadcasts, our 2024 Christmas special, and all of Season 1's offerings as they release. No more waiting for episodes to eventually show up on podcasting platforms. New episodes can be found on Patreon the same day they broadcast live on FGC Radio. Enlist today at patreon.com/HMIBisonDollars. This week's divination by Groppler Morn is 444-444. I don't know what to say. Thank you, and take care.